go to the next program. Program number 7, speech by our outgoing speaker, Shri Bharat Laxman Markad, IPS, Sundaram Police, Phek.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chairperson, Shri Janmay Konyak, SDPO 0. Outgoing Additional SP, Shri Hongking Chang, SDPO Phek, SDPO Meluri, our Assistant Commandant of IRB, Shri Yan Jamio, all the OCs, Unit Pastor, officers, church staff, HA and ministerial staff, DCRB staff, and Bahadur Jawans, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I have not missed anyone. Of course, Teno, most important man. Since Additional SP has stated that he was here for 350 days, so I just calculated I was here for 9 months, 9 days. तो लोग एक interesting figure हो जाए. And then you have given me so many gifts in such a short span of time. I think it is good to get transferred very often. So there are many things. I'll keep it short. First thing is I just want to thank all of you. We conducted assembly elections successfully, peacefully. For that, all the office staff, especially all our branch ICs, be it crime, establishment, clothing, MT, ABI, they work till 10, 11, sometimes 12 o'clock in the midnight also. Of course, led by additional and SDPO. And in the fields, all the OCs and their staff, I think we gave them a lot of pressure. But all of them, heavily led by their respective SDPOs, delivered very well. So that's the reason we had very successful election without any sort of violence, except few skirmishes here and there. But I think that is, as a democracy, I think we have to accept those things. Secondly, our outgoing additional SP. One thing I would say, this gentleman, whatever task I have given him, whatever task we entrusted him, and whatever nodal officer he was appointed for, he did his work with complete dedication. And once you give him a task, you don't have to actually remind him later. It will come well within time, with perfection, the way we want it, the way our police headquarters want it. For that, I am sure he must have pressurized many of you, many of SDPOs and OCs, he must have pressurized you. But I think that was all my fault, because I was pressurizing him and he was doing his job brilliantly. So thank you. Because of him, I never got any scolding from PSU. Because additional SP, just now we are having one of the meeting also. Many units, if your twice is not good, ultimately when you go to the police headquarters, as a unit commander you go. So if you do good, we take the credit, and if you do bad, then we take the blame. But I think during his stay here, I never had opportunity to take blame from anyone. We were one of the better performing districts in all the aspects. So thank you once again. You keep this, your commitment and dedication to work just like this, and that will actually serve you good and serve Nagaland police definitely well. Now there are few things. Many times I used to scold many of you. As our HA has also stated that sometimes they used to go on leave. I understand, I think there was never any shortcoming from accounts branch. They did all their work very well. And maybe because of the shortage of work, they were going. And many times I used to use harsh words also, but that was not personal. That is in official capacity. Yes. I think, just for example, since he stated, same goes with other branches also. Yes. Maybe some police stations also. I think I would have scolded some OCs also. It was not personal scolding. It was for, I wanted job to get done well. And one thing I would tell all of you also, when I'm leaving this place also, when we are wearing a uniform, we should take pride in it. We should work with passion. See, by the grace of God, all of us, we have got some job. We are getting our salaries. We are able to fend for our families, our kids, our wife, or our parents. So we should not take it very lightly. We should not waste it by drinking and taking substance, some drugs and some other things. Some enjoyment is required in life, but there is a right time and right place for everything. When we are wearing a uniform, I think we should be absolutely dedicated, and we should be a role model for the common man. Now, what is happening? I will just digress a bit. Unfortunately, we don't have got much good name between the among the citizens of the state, and that is sorry state of affairs in whole country also. If you see most of the movies, most of the serials and social media also, police is not very often portrayed beautifully. It's mostly portrayed in bad terms or in negative terms. There is definitely reason for that. What happens many times we don't do our job properly. When we don't do our job properly, we ask favors from somebody else. So when we start asking favors from somebody else, then there are no free lunches in this world. Somebody will get something in return. The example, it starts with your recruitment, then it starts with your postings and your work, everything. Many times we our political executive for our transfers and postings. It's a democracy, it's the votes matter, so they are also compelled. So they have to help you out, but then again, it affects the discipline. And once it affects the discipline, it's very difficult for a unit commander to run a unit properly. During my tenure, I think whenever any genuine request have come for transfer or for posting or for going to another unit also, for leave also, whatever can be done at my table, I have done it. And I think that should be the habit. I think as a officers, as a GOs, as a NGOs, as a NCOs, you all have been given some responsibilities, some authority. If you don't use your authority, somebody else will. And if you don't take responsibility for it, then you will get scolding for sure, or you will not get the respect you deserve. I think in our tenure, we have some instances where, legally speaking, some judgments did not come in our favor, but we appealed to the higher court and we got judgment in our favor. There were some instances where executive action was not in our favor. Legally, we appealed to the higher forum, we got it in our favor. Why I am telling you this? You don't have to go and ask your personal favors. There is a rule, there are regulations, there are procedures. If you follow it, if it doesn't come in your favor, you can always appeal to the higher authority and you can get result in your favor. But what happens nowadays, if you, like, let's say example, for example, there is a case of your transfer, some Jawan, like he is in Phek for a very long time and he has some health issues and the cold climate doesn't support him. And then doctor has advised him to go for posting in some warmer place. There is no harm. Actually, we are all human beings. Today my health is good, tomorrow it may not be so. Or that applies for everyone. So there is no shame in that. But there is a proper channel for that. You should come to your superior authority. If it is a Thana, Jawan, you should write to his OC. OC should consider case on merit. And then he should recommend it through SDPO to SP. If it is possible for SP, he should do it. Ideally, that is the scenario. Now what happens? Most of our boys, they will directly go to somebody from outside the department. In that scenario, you are just spoiling your own name, department's name, and the discipline. Since this is farewell, so I will not go in much. I am trying to just keep it neutral. I don't want to mention the very specific details about the instances which I am mentioning. And once you earn the trust of public, then I think your own family members, your own children, your own parents, your own neighbors, they will also give respect to you. And there is nothing greater than respect actually. With money you cannot buy respect. There are many people who earn in millions and billions, still nobody talks good about them and they have no respect. But there will be many people who are very poor. In your villages also you will have many elder gentlemen or ladies. Whole village will respect them, not because of their money or something else, just because of the wisdom, the character, the integrity, the strength of their character. And police department, our whole actually our existence depends on whether public feel that we are legitimate authority or not. And how do we get the legitimacy? No, there are different kind of authorities. Something else called charismatic authority. Like earlier, there were some benevolent kings. We all know from biblical history or Hindu mythologies also, like be it Ram or Solomon or David. So these are like charismatic leaders. So there are some autocracies, like for example, we recently have some communist or some autocratic countries like North Korea or some other places where you don't have any choice, but you have to follow the orders. But there is something called legitimate authority, which comes from the public and which everyone respects. So we have to earn that legitimacy, and we will earn this legitimacy only when we perform well. I am very happy. I always used to tell my colleagues also, and whenever I used to go to the police headquarters, fortunately we have got very good teams. Policing is again a teamwork. It's not like Singham or some Bollywood movie where one SP comes or one inspector comes or he delivers and rest of them are idiots. It never happens that way. Everybody has to be involved. Fortunately, all our SDPOs and our additional SPs, they are very well experienced. Most of them have put in more than 20-25 years of service and very challenging locations, be it Kohima, Dimapur, very difficult assignments they have handled. So that's the reason most of the OCs and subordinate officers, you had a good guidance point from where you can take the guidance and proper instructions. And same goes with our most of the OCs. For example, when it comes to the drugs and other things, recently also I think Sozuba PS has done very wonderful case. DG has appreciated it very much. We, I think, arrested 2 people in Sozuba, then we backtracked it to the Kohima, we arrested 1 fellow. Now I think another absconding, I think they are trying to locate him. See, that is the investigation. I think farewell, I am not going to the law, but I think these are the things we need to speak, and we need to, actually our bread and butter depends on the investigation, maintenance of law and order, and if you are not able to do it properly, so there is no, we don't have any actually, you see most of the time in Nagaland police or what happens, when we pressurize additional SPs and SDPOs, it will drugs law case could be, liquor could be, manu could be. So many times what you will do, you will just go, get the seizure, arrest somebody, and then that is the, you will file the charge sheet. That is not investigation. Investigation is something, for example, we have seized the drug. For example, Suzuka case. You have to see from where it came. You have to go to the source. And then you have to see where it is going also, where it is heading also, destination also. Then who are all involved. Then your action should be, such a deterrence effect it should have. For example, in IPS case now, we have preventive detention, wherein you can actually book somebody we can put somebody behind the bar for 1 year. Then you can confiscate their property. So it will have a bigger impact on the society. Now, otherwise what we do, we just arrest someone, we file charge sheet, next day he comes out on bail, then it's a routine business. And then that's the reason public also thinks that police are good for nothing. So it may not be very good to hear, you may not like the opinion, but this is the reality in society. So I think we need to work on this. And there are some few issues I think when our DGP sir has also been highlighting, most of his address to the public or address to the police department also. If we clean our house, then only we have right to clean somebody else's house. So first thing, we have to start everything from ourselves. If there is somebody in our family who needs help, then we are always there. I think I will always convey, if anybody wants to go for rehabilitation, we'll send them. Whatever amount of the leave he wants, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, you don't have to worry. We'll look into it. But the person should become better. We want, if one person has become better, then his family also actually feels happy. Now what has happened, many of our boys, they are not been doing their duties properly. And again, this is the failure of the supervisor officer. I'm not talking only about you. This is my almost 4th or 5th district. In Eastern Nagaland also I served. Tuisang I was there, Oka, Dimapur, and I think Bhandari, NAP also I was in NAP also. So what I observed is many a times our NCOs and NGOs and GOs, we fail to exercise our authority. Exercising authority is not actually dominating someone or abusing the power. Actually, that is our duty. And the reason what happens many times we are not confident in ourselves also, and many times we think ki this itu manu khanto biya pabo, tayla khandan biya pabo. We are not here to please everyone. We are here to do our duty. Why I am saying ki many times we find somebody is absent, their supervisor officer failed to give a report to us. Somebody starts drinking, you fail to correct them at early stage. If somebody has started doing anything illegal, if you control them at early stage, it will not go to the stage where they are no more actually, they cannot be, be good anymore. If you nip it in the bud actually, any problem, if you nip it in the bud, it's very likely that that problem can be removed completely. But if you allow it to continue, then there is no hope. So my request to all the NCOs, starting from Lance Nayak to Nayak till additional SPs, all the ranks in between, whatever power, whatever authority government has given you, kindly exercise it for your own good, for the good of Nagaland police, and for the good of the men which you are leading. So that is only one of my requests. You should lead by example. And again, as I have stated, this is very small state, and transparent posting is a routine job. It's not I'm not retiring from service. In fact, somebody would say I'm going to a very good place, and Kohima is a nice place only. All places have been good. In fact, I had a very good time in Phek. Additional SP is going to his home district, and again it is one of the most beautiful places. Actually, I stayed there for 4 years. One of the longest serving IPS officer in your district. So I enjoyed. So I think I believe he should be happy. I am definitely happy. I am going with very good memories of all of you, of this district, of people over here. I really cherish all these memories, and thank you once again for such a good farewell you people have organized for us. Sorry, it was because of some unavoidable reason it was delayed, and in evening also we had some video conferencing. That's the reason we could not come on time. So sorry for keeping you waited for half an hour. And once again, thank you for all the hospitality, love, and cooperation you people have extended to me. Kindly do the same to the incoming SP, because any SP comes here, he comes to perform his official duty. If you give him cooperation or her cooperation, they also get motivated to do better. So extend same amount of cooperation to the incoming SP. And Kohima is nearby. Anytime you have any problem, any difficulty, I'm just 3.5 hours away, provided there are no landslides in between. So you can come anytime to my office, my residence. And again, I believe most of us would definitely work in one capacity or another capacity together, either in this district or in my another assignment. So I cease my speech here only. So I wish you all the best. God bless. Thank you.